Happy St. Patrick's Day, and what a great way to show off the ColorLogic system on this awesome design, which is going to be made into a greeting card using the ColorLogic system and pattern effects. So what we're going to do is first of all, we're going to change the background color. And let's pick out a green for St. Patrick's Day. Let's go with a more of a lime green. Okay, let's turn on our overprint preview. So we now have our design in the background. I'm not quite liking those little dark shamrocks in the back, so let's get rid of those. They're kind of distracting. And let's keep that drop shadow underneath, but let's change that. Let's make that blurred. And let's change the opacity to multiply. And let's just reduce that overall opacity down a little bit. Okay, so what that allows you to do is be able to have the metallic in the background and keep all these dynamic effects that are created inside Illustrator, such as transparency settings. What we're going to do now is we're going to add some other embellishments. So let's pick up this area here, and we're going to color that one up. Let's go with something quite similar in color, maybe number 90. That's going to have some metallic embellishments on it. Let's go with these gold coins. Oh, there's some gold on his chest as well. So what we'll do is, and the beer, so let's just make all of that gold. You can go in there and be selective if you want, but we're just going to do some nice little embellishments. Now in the background we made a metallic color. We're actually going to change that and add a dimensional effect pattern in there, or maybe in a watermark. So what I'm doing is I'm using Pattern Effects Volume 3. That Volume 3 is our holiday range, and inside there are some patterns which we can use for applying like a different type of effect. This one is some kind of like a four-leaf clover type things. In fact, let's go with a dimensional effect. And let's go to number 49. You can see it better. There you go. So that is the pattern that we're going to be using inside there. We can also scale and rotate that if we so wish, but we're not going to really scale it too much. Let's make it maybe a little bit smaller, maybe -80. Okay, so once we've got that in place, we're going to add some text. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And we're going to make that nice and big. Let's change the font. Let's go with this one. Okay. And have that over here somewhere. And I think maybe let's have a white version over the top. Okay, so that stands out a bit more. Those over, and maybe we want to have a tagline. Let's change the font as well. Okay, so go forth my trusty steed. Let's change the font size. Now, one thing with the dimensional effect is that it does have a habit of overpowering the design, as you can see here, so we're kind of losing some of that effect. So what we can do in here is we can actually go inside and change that to a different version of the pattern. That's why I'm going to go back to my watermark effects, which is a more of a subtle type effect, and let's go down to Pattern Effects number 49. So what you can see there is it is in the background. If we just take off our CMYK, we'll see we have a design that's got a restricted amount of white ink going into that, and that's going to make that design pop a little bit more. I think what we might do is just bring that down a little bit, maybe make that white, and let's just make sure that our black drop shadow is overprinting. So there we have a design created in minutes. Save that as a PDF. I'll do this as a PDF X3 because it's got an Adobe PDF Flattener built into it, which helps with the rendering inside the FX viewer, especially when you're using transparency. And now take that PDF, drag that into the FX viewer. The FX viewer is now going to render that file and bring that into this environment for us that we can then see in metallics the design that we've just created. And there we have it. One design done in minutes with all those embellishments. We've got golds, we've got these like aqua greeny blue colours in there. And again, we only put a little bit of metallic in certain areas just to accentuate the design, so then you do have some CMYK elements that retains visual clarity on that design. So there you have it. Really quick, really easy when you use the ColorLogic system, pattern effects, and the FX viewer to view your files.